Crowdfunding and video games seem to be going hand in hand, especially within the past 5 to 6 years. There's been a bunch of different projects that have been done via Kickstarter, via Indiegogo, via other platforms that have allowed video games and video game consoles to come to light that probably wouldn't have existed without people backing this game in order to give these smaller companies funds in order to develop these games. Sometimes it's a small company that just needs a little bit of money. Sometimes it's a small company that needs a lot of money. Sometimes it's a big company that wants money. Whatever the case may be, there's definitely been a rise of crowdfunding video games and video game consoles. Now, of course, there's the other side of the coin, where there's always seems to be some disappointment with these crowdfunded games. Maybe it didn't meet consumer expectations. Maybe some things were lies. Maybe some things didn't come to fruition. Two of the biggest crowdfunding in video game stories, though, have to be the Oyua and, of course, Mighty Number 9. The Oyua was an interesting system, basically a little Android box that you would play games on your television with, and while it was okay for what it wasn't really what people wanted. It wasn't what people necessarily expected, and it ended up just not hitting with a mass market of people. And unfortunately, at the present time, you can't even buy games for the Oyua anymore, so it's pretty much just a worthless paperweight if you own one. Mighty Number 9, though, was definitely a different situation. It was supposed to be the spiritual successor to Mega Man, which hadn't seen a release in quite a while, so a lot of people were excited for this game. Of course, the concept art came out, and then the final product didn't really look like the concept art. There was tons of issues with the crowdfunding as well. People never got their game for backing the game. People never got physical rewards for backing the game. And some versions of the game, like the 3DS version, never even came out. So crowdfunding can be a very slippery slope when it comes to video games. I feel like there's more negative stories about crowdfunding than there is positive stories. Well, one game that's kind of been piquing my interest as of late is of Crazy Justice. You might remember this game as being announced for the Nintendo Switch, and tons of Nintendo websites were talking about Crazy Justice because it was the first Battle Royale game coming to the Nintendo Switch. It looked really cool. It looked like it was going to be really fun and different from Fortnite. But then the game just never came out. And I was sitting here actually talking to some of my Patreons in a group chat, and we were talking about Crazy Justice, and I was like, what the hell ever happened to that game? Was this just a scam to get Nintendo Switch owners to promote this game, to get Nintendo websites to promote this game, and Nintendo Switch owners to back this game in order to get a Battle Royale experience? So in today's video, I want to look at Crazy Justice. I want to look at the company behind Crazy Justice and figure out just what the hell happened with this game. Was it a scam? Is it still going to come out? That's what we're going to find out today. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into the crazy world of Crazy Justice.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! Crazy Justice was first brought to Steam Greenlight back on June 13th, 2016. Think of Crazy Justice as Fortnite, but with promises of much more different types of gameplay. The draw of the game originally was, of course, a Battle Royale mode. In addition to that, there was a Skill Royale mode that admittedly sounds pretty cool. Instead of every character being the same, you choose from one of 23 different characters with unique abilities and weapons that were customizable. The game offered a great variety of weapons and vehicles in order to traverse the maps, destructible environments, and even a story mode that promised interesting mission varieties and co-op gameplay. Allegedly, more modes such as Deathmatch and Capture the Flag were also going to be included in the game as well, making it a pretty robust experience that would clearly offer a bit more than what Fortnite was doing at the time. Crazy Justice was announced for the Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and Steam, and was put onto a crowdfunding platform called Fig.co. The campaign completed on October 17, 2017, and received over $51,000 when only $30,000 was asked. The Nintendo Switch was obviously the focal point of this project, even though it was said to be coming on all platforms. The Switch version was obviously the most popular at the time of the project though, as there was no forms of Battle Royale games on the Switch at that time. Nearly 1,300 people backed the Nintendo Switch version of the game. A paltry 94 backed the Steam version. Only 5, yes 5, people backed the Xbox One version of the game, and 2, yes 2, backed the PS4 version of the game. So obviously after seeing the success of the Switch campaign, the Switch became the primary platform for the game. The game was shown as being cross-platform play between Steam, Xbox One, and Switch, which back at that time for the funding of the campaign wasn't as popular as it was now. Everything seemed to be going along well with the game, and people were excited for it, myself included. The game was announced as coming out in Q2 of 2018 on all platforms, but obviously the Switch version was the star of the show. Fortnite was super popular and available on every platform except for the Nintendo Switch, and Switch owners were looking for a battle royale experience. Development of the game seemed to be moving along, and the team behind the game, Black Riddle Studios, was very vocal on all forms of social media. Many Facebook posts and various groups were popping up for the game with promotion, especially Nintendo Switch groups, and their Twitter page was very active as well. Speaking of Black Riddle Studios, if you haven't heard of this company before, you aren't alone. Information is pretty scarce on the team, and only two people within the company are known, a brother duo named Balazs and Gergo Welker from Hungary. According to the bio on the Black Riddle's website, we are the Welker brothers, Balazs and Gergo, the developers of Crazy Justice. All content including models, characters, 2D arts, tools, and goods have been created by us. We are the founders of Black Riddle Studios and Black Riddle Studios Publishing, an award-winning game development company. We were awarded the Best Indie Game Developer at CES Award 2016, and in September of 2015, we won one of the NASA Tournament Lab contests. The only game that it seems like has been released from Black Riddle Studios, though, is a game called Bubby Ball, which, looking at it, doesn't instill much confidence in the company being able to make a large-scale, multi-platform, cross-platform battle royale game with tons of modes running on Unreal Engine 3. Bubby Ball looks like a game for mobile devices from 2013, not a 2017 game for Steam, PC, and Linux. But still, you do have to start somewhere, I suppose. Tons of updates and information for Crazy Justice was still flowing though, and it looked like the game was on target for the Q2 release date of 2018. In May, I actually spoke with Balazs on Facebook, expressing my interest in the game and checking it out on the Nintendo Switch, and he informed me that the game would be more than likely releasing in June and he would contact me with a review copy to check out. Then E3 2018 happened. During E3 2018, Fortnite was revealed for the Nintendo Switch, and released during Nintendo's presentation, which must have put a hurting on Crazy Justice. Crazy Justice was a pay-for game, whereas Fortnite is of course free. On June 12th, however, it was announced on Nintendo Life that not only was Crazy Justice coming out, but it was coming out the next day, June 13th. So how would it compare to Fortnite? Well, June 13th came and went, and no Crazy Justice was around. It never released at all in June, which had backers a bit concerned, many starting to question the game, the lack of updates on the release of the game, and some even demanding a refund for the game. The Twitter feed was still rather busy though with them posting updates, but it started becoming less and less active as time went on, especially for the console related information, as everything seemed to be focused on the Steam Early Access version of the game. On August 1st, 2018, some new Switch information did pop up with the Battle Royale portion of Crazy Justice being free to play. On August 9th, another update came via Twitter, but not the one that people were expecting. Crazy Justice was announced for Android and iOS, which is pretty strange considering that it hadn't come out on any platforms at the time. After lots of nearly daily updates for all of August and for the first few days of September, the Black Riddle's Twitter page went nearly silent. The last tweet was from November. The Facebook page for Black Riddle Studios hasn't posted anything since August 29th, and considering that Twitter and Facebook are two of the biggest platforms for social media, things looked a bit grim for the game. Moving over to the Discord, there's some more information to go on, but obviously at this point most consumers are rather pissed at this situation. Also, considering the lack of updates on Twitter and Facebook, and how many people don't use Discord, the stigma around the game was negative to say the least. The last update for Crazy Justice was done in the announcement section of their Discord, and was posted on December 28th, but all of the updates have been strictly for the Steam version of the game as that is available in early access. 2018 was not the year we wanted for Crazy Justice. There has been more disappointed people for the delays and lack of communications than many of the devs would ever want to see, and this is a mistake that I'm sure will cost us to a certain degree. However, looking on the bright side, a lot of progress is being made with the game, and every single day there is work being put into the game. There is more people working on the game than ever before. I hope that you can appreciate the quality is in another level in comparison to the game that was originally intended to release. And even though there has been a substantial delay, the game will release in a state of playability and art direction on which your devs can feel proud of. We would like to wish everyone a great New Year's with your loved ones. Let 2019 be the year of Crazy Justice. So what will the fate of Crazy Justice be? A lot of the early access reviews that people have posted on places like Reddit haven't been very formidable for the game, saying that it's extremely broken, it crashes all the time, and there's tons of issues with it. Will the game ever come out on anything beyond Steam? Will this end up going down as a huge scam, something like the Rainway app, which used the Nintendo Switch to sort of give it notoriety, and then of course it never came out for the Nintendo Switch? I guess time will tell. So Crazy Justice is definitely a very interesting situation. For that portion of the video, I didn't want to really give my personal thoughts and opinions on things. I just wanted to keep it based on the research that I found on this game and based on the information that I found on this game, and sort of let you guys decide whether or not you think the Nintendo Switch was basically used as a prop to promote funding for this game. Personally, do I think they used it as a prop to promote funding for this game? I definitely think they do, because you just look at the timeline of things, how this game was put on Steam Greenlight back in October of 2016. When the Switch wasn't even around, it was announced as coming out on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. So I think that Black Riddle Studio pretty much thought to themselves, well, we put this game out on Steam, if it does well, then we could port it over to other systems. But once the Nintendo Switch came out and it did not have a Battle Royale game on it, that sort of became the focal point for the team, because they realized, hey, we could generate a lot of buzz by doing a Battle Royale game on the Nintendo Switch. So their crowdfunding essentially got a lot more publicity than it would have without the Nintendo Switch on there. Was it ever going to come to the Nintendo Switch? Is it still going to come to the Nintendo Switch? I really don't know. Like I said at the end of the little research documentary portion of the video, a lot of people that have played the game on Steam, that have posted on Reddit about the game, say it's just absolutely broken and buggy. I really feel like this is a situation where a company just bit off a little more than they can chew. If you looked at that Bubby Ball game, like, that's something that doesn't look like the same studio would make a huge open world, you know, Fortnite style game with a lot more going on that has Fortnite, you know, in it. And it's just, I don't know, it's definitely an interesting situation. I'm curious to see how far advanced this game gets on Steam and if it ever does come into the Nintendo Switch. But I definitely feel like the Nintendo Switch was used as sort of a prop in order to generate funding for this game. But let me know in the comments section down below what you think. And as always, thank you for checking out this video. Let me know if you like this style of video that's more of like a documentary based, you know, research based sort of thing. And if so, I'll do more of them in the future. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.